What's good, Commanders fans? Just wanted to make a video, some updates about some coaches that the Commanders have started to interview or requested permission to interview for some defensive coaching staff positions as far as in the secondary. So this one's from Jeremy Fowler. The tweet says the Raiders granted Commanders permission to speak with defensive pass game coordinator Jason Simmons per source. Simmons worked closely with new coordinator Joe Witt Jr. in Green Bay and is considered a prime candidate for a position on the defensive staff. So Jason Simmons was with the Raiders this past season. He was with the Carolina Panthers as well, where that 2021 defense was really, really, really good. They were a top 5 passing defense. They had J.C. Horn on that team. They had Stephon Gilmore on that roster as well. So they had some darn good corners. They had Jeremy Chin at the safety position. So he's a guy that came in and definitely helped improve that defense. The team overall was 5-12, but the defense did a good job for sure. So we need a professional in here, especially with our DBs, somebody coaching up Emmanuel Forbes, Ben St. Juste, Quan Martin, Cam Curl if he's back next year, Derek Forrest. We need a professional in here because last year, with Jack Del Rio, he had his buddy who ended up getting fired when Jack Del Rio got fired as the DB's coach after it was basically a drop off from Chris Harris. Once Chris Harris left, you could definitely see a drop off in coaching and communication out there. So we'll see if Jason Simmons can come in and help out with that. But like I said, he has a decorated resume. The Carolina defense allowed under 200 passing yards per game in 2021. He helped rebuild that Carolina defense as well. Like I said, he had Jair Alexander with the Packers as well. So he has, he was there with Joe Witt Jr. When I say Mike McCarthy was there, he did coach Charles Woodson, Pro Football Hall of Famer, as well with the Packers as well. So once again, he has a decorated resume and has coached a lot of good players there. He did play in the NFL as well. He was a 5th round pick by the Steelers in 1998 and went on to play in 121 games over a 10-year career as well. He talked about coaching Stephon Gilmore and other guys like that as well, and just adapting to his players and getting the best out of his players. There's one quote that he talked about. He says, he's always trying to learn from the way that Gilmore prepares and plays as much as the young players do. He said, that's going to help me as a coach. That's what Simmons says as well. So he said, when the Panthers were preparing for the Falcons, being able to see Stephon Gilmore's anticipation unfold in real time was impressive to him. He says he always, and quote, going in, he's always had the reputation. Guys know who the cerebral guys are. He's always been looked at as an uber talented player, but also cerebral player. He studies concepts, understands formation, understands players and their stances and their mannerisms as well. So he said nothing but good things about Stephon Gilmore and just adjusting and adapting to players, whether it's a veteran or a young guy. Stephon Gilmore had a Pro Bowl season with the Panthers. That was probably his last Pro Bowl season that he's had ever since he left the Panthers there with Jason Simmons. So he also was a special teams coach. He was assistant special teams coach for the Packers from 2015 to 2017. The Packers ranked number 2 in the league in an opponent punt return average, gave it up only 5.7 yards per punt return. So we definitely need improvement in that too. We gave up a good amount of punt return yards this year. This was a down year in special teams too. So if you can help us with that, that would be greatly appreciated as well. Then Green Bay had 10.7 yards per punt return in 2017, ranked number 2 in the NFL. So once again, Jason Simmons has done a lot of good things, man. Whether it's and then he helped Simmons helped kicker Mason Crosby register 122 points his 10 consecutive seasons with 100+ points as well. So that's on his bio and his write-up as well with the Raiders. So yeah, he's done nothing but good things with the Panthers and also the Packers as well. So let's move on to the other guy here. So the other guy that they had requested a permission to interview is Mike Adams, which is the Giants' assistant special teams coach, Mike Adams, for their defensive backs job. Now, a lot of people have been asking about Al Harris. Al Harris, they have not said anything about him. I don't know if the Cowboys, I don't think they can block that from happening or anything like that. I don't know if the Giants can block Mike Adams from being interviewed or anything like that, but we just have not heard anything about Al Harris. Al Harris is a guy that they may really want to keep, the Cowboys, that they really want to keep him in-house. They're not interviewing him for the defensive coordinator, but that's just the update on what I've heard about Al Harris. Now, Ron Rivera is seriously getting interviewed. He had an in-person interview with the Cowboys and Mike Zimmer. So, but that's just the news over there and just kind of tying into all the Al Harris stuff. So this was per Art Stapleton. He said the Commanders are requesting to interview Giants assistant special teams coach Mike Adams for the defensive back job. So Mike Adams, you look at his career, his resume as well. He played football for a long time. He made 2 Pro Bowls as well. 2 Pro Bowls, 930 tackles in his career, 6 sacks, 13 forced fumbles, 16 recoveries, 30 interceptions. 30 interceptions. That's a good amount of turnovers. We need guys that like nice things. Like Chris Harris used to say, we don't have guys that like nice things. We need to get back to that. Guys taking the football away. 2-time Pro Bowl in 2014, 2015, second team All-Atlantic, 810. Has not coached a lot. He coached the Bears as an assistant defensive backs coach in 2021, and then with the Giants as an assistant special teams coach. And all I've seen on social media is that Giants fans have been upset. They don't want him to go. They don't want him to leave. So this guy has a lot of potential here. So it looks like we're getting some good guys on this staff here as well. But yeah, with the Broncos, he signed a $4 million contract for with $250 million guaranteed. Played with the Colts as well, had some good years. Like I said, played with the Panthers as well, played with the Texans. Had a long career, man. Had a long career. He had 1 year with 4 interceptions, 1 year with 5 interceptions, 2 years with 5 interceptions, and 1 year with 11 pass deflections as well. And then in 2018 with Carolina, he had 3 interceptions. So he's really not that far off. So he can be a young, innovative guy as well. He had 1 season with 3 forced fumbles, and then 2 seasons where he had 1 touchdown each. So he has productive seasons as well. 40-yard interception return, and then the other one was a 38-yard interception return. So this is a guy that had a good career that could definitely bring in some good knowledge and some good coaching for sure. But I'm trying to see, let me see if I have any other notes on Jason Simmons here coming over from the Raiders as well. Coach Rasul Douglas helped him improve as well. So yeah, and that's basically it. The Panthers were 4th in pass defense in 2021. And they had a darn good defense that year in 2021. Like I said, J.C. Horn, A.J. Bouye, C.J. Henderson, Jeremy Chin, guys like that. Stephon Gilmore, talked about him as well. So I think we beat them that year though when we played them that year. Actually, no, I don't even think we played them that year. But yeah, no, these are two good candidates. And we'll see where this goes. Either one of them, I think, is a win-win if you get either guys on this staff. And, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with the offensive side of the ball. I know Cliff Kingsbury is going to help bring some guys in here to fill out that offensive staff for sure. And the next coming days, we'll probably see who the quarterback's coach is, offensive line coach, stuff like that coming up. So I know Dan Quinn will do a good job of hiring a good staff. So like I said, I'm cautiously optimistic with Dan Quinn. Not getting my hopes up. I've seen a lot of good pressures before, a lot of decorated good resume coaches that have come in here that have been to the Super Bowl before. And, we've seen how things have gone. So I just can't get my hopes up too much. But I do see some professionalism, of course, with Dan Quinn, the leader of men. I already see those qualities from the press conference. And I think Cliff is a good hire. I think Joe Wood Jr. is a good hire just from the outside looking in. And I think these guys are definitely good candidates to help out the defensive backs. To go from a guy who Jack Del Rio had last year, who at the most was a high school coach. No disrespect to high school coaches. But just, guys that played in the NFL and that can help some of these young guys out like Emmanuel Forbes, Quan Martin, Percy Butler, guys like that. I think that's what we need in here. A guy like Jason Simmons or a guy like Mike Adams, who has a legitimate Pro Bowl career as well. So, all right, you guys let me know what you guys think. Hell Commanders, peace.